psychological sort of perspective on why we fuck up, basically, is that if you're going to be strong in an ideology, which is always kind of funny because it's like you're liberal about something because you're flexible, but if you're going to be strong in an ideology and it's something you truly believe, then you have to have sort of the commitment and the fortitude to always want to uphold it, to always want to uphold it. And this is the human nature part, where if we feel that other people are breaking the rules, then we get to break the rules. And what I mean by that is, like, one of the first things that you'll see as critiques is that they talk about, like, with the Islamophobia and stuff like that, and just like there's been a lot of these immigrants are coming to these cities and stuff, and it's like, and one first thing a lot of people will bring up is just like, you know what, if you were gay there, do you know what would happen to you? And the thing is like, regardless of what. That is almost, and people say, how can you ignore that? It's like, you can ignore that because all you're doing is you're arguing why you get to break your own rules now. That's what because you're using it. And so if the way I look at it, because it's almost compelling if you read about it from certain sources and stuff where, yeah, everything about the Jewish state is crazy, but though, look at all the stuff that happened to him. We can make this one exception. We can make this exception, right? Like, can't we?
And there's an appeal to liberalism. Like, we have, like, gay pride marches, and isn't that cool? So can't we Holocaust these people now?
Right.
Because these people don't have gay pride marches, we do. So can we Holocaust them?
Right.
It's like what the fuck are we talking about?
I think a lot of people fall to this, where it's just like, okay, it's as simple as this. I have these principles and these rules I live by, and I will always do them unless someone else breaks them. Then I get to break mine. That's just fair, right? Like, even though they'll say the Christians stupid, the eye for an eye for thing, that's basically what you're doing because you are breaking yours, and that's hard for, I think, especially a group of people. It's hard for any people to do. I wish they would just be more honest about it, but it's hard to hold by. That's what true values are. It's hard to hold by your values when someone else isn't doing it. Right. And you, by the way, have to treat them the same way. Like, what a lot of people don't realize is that so many of their values or morals are conditional. And it's like, for whatever reason they do, when they break theirs, okay, we get to break ours now. So they could probably throw a fucking cyclone of all these reasoning and justifications of like, yeah, not a Christian state because of this, this, and this. Maybe you're using your own arguments that you would maybe believe or something, like, the sort of the Christian, sort of modern Christian crusade colonialism and stuff like that. This is why you can't have it and blah, 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 blah. And they would throw all this myriad of shit of like, why? But at the end of the day, it's just like, how can you stand for this because it's breaking all your rules? It's like, no, but you don't get it. They get to break the rules this time because of X, Y, and Z. It's just like, man, like, this is, and it just, that's hard. I mean, that's a hard thing to do for a lot of things. I'm not justifying it, but it's hard for people to understand that, and especially America does this, especially because we afford so many things that are radical compared to different countries, as far as like certain freedoms or as far as certain rules we have or don't have. And we then get mad at other countries and we want to deny them or deny their immigrants or deny being reasonable with them because they break our rules. It's like, if we really stand for those, it doesn't matter what other countries do, right? These are our rules. And if we're going to take so much goddamn pride in them, like, then that's what we'll stand by. We stand by freedom. So when people come over here, we don't profile them. We treat them like, right? Isn't that the thing? That everybody's free, that everybody gets to come over and they get all these chances and all this stuff afforded. But it's like, they came from this shithole country, so fuck them. They, it's like, doesn't matter.
So then those beliefs become something we want to impose on other countries, and we use that as a justification for why we can attack them. They don't have our freedoms. They don't share what we believe. And then at home, we crack down on the very things that we're ostensibly standing up for on the international stage. Like, America thinks it's this beacon of freedom and democracy, and it gets to go around and tell other countries, you need to be free and democratic like us. And then you come to America, and, like, freedom is already a tentative idea. Like, what do we even mean by that? And freedom for who? Is a poor person free? But then democracy is such a fucking obvious joke. There's no real democratic input at all. So it's like, yeah, I think there's a deep contradiction there. And I think there's always been a contradiction in liberalism. And I think internationally, as capitalism sort of becomes less and less sustainable and tenable, its ideology, which is liberalism, and I don't mean in the American liberal versus conservative sense, I mean in the international philosophical liberal sense.
Laissez-faire.
It's breaking down. Liberalism is breaking down. And Israel is an inflection point of liberalism becoming incoherent, right? but also liberalism is European colonialism, and Zionism is European colonialism, and colonialism has always sat at the heart of liberal capitalism, even though it flies in the face explicitly of all of liberalism's proclaimed beliefs. And so it's an interesting little inflection point that is kind of increasing the incoherence of liberalism. And then with the Ukraine and Russia war, they have to flip the script entirely, right? When the liberals want to defend Israel, they have to make a certain set of arguments. When they want to defend Ukraine, they flip those arguments around. A bigger country is attacking a smaller country. Russia is trying to take over land and territory, the exact thing Israel's trying to do. It's murdering people. Oh, look at Hillary Clinton's concerned that Russia bombed a hospital. Meanwhile, Israel bombed 5 hospitals last week alone. You didn't say shit. So the exact rhetoric employed by international liberalism to defend Ukraine has to be inverted completely to then defend Israel. Because the same rhetoric you would use in Ukraine, if you just applied it objectively to Israel and Palestine, you would be pro-Palestinian, right?
Yeah.
You would have to be, because it's about a way bigger military power trying to steal land from a smaller, less militarily developed people, trying to dominate in terms of, even in Israel's case, ethno-supremacism, which is like fucking Nazi Lebensraum type shit. So yeah, all these contradictions explode. And liberal Zionists and liberals in general are scraping by to try to make sense of something that is just like slipping out of their hands.
Right. And at the heart of hypocrisy, I think it goes back to the idea that if they break our rules, then we get to break our rules. Like, at the heart of it, like, you think of even going back where the idea of the ultimate crackdown, not even in America, but in everywhere else of communism, of attacking it. Anything like that, like just the fucking coups and all the stuff we helped and everything like that. But the idea behind it was that we have to do this because it will be a threat to us.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're breaking our rules. So now we have to be a threat to them because they're a threat to us, which is like, first of all, you don't even know that. I mean, you may say, well, they do this and this stuff, but again, it all comes back to, okay, it's about freedom, and it's about, and a big thing was about isolationism as it started, being individualistic. We're going to run the way the world can be the way they want to. Well, no, but they're breaking our rules, and they're going to do that to us. So then we get to break our rules, and now we get to start doing all this completely, like, rules of engagement are off. They have it for us, but the rules,